up and welcome, I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome back to the Orlando City career, where today we're going to be getting into our first transfer window with this team, and it should be pretty good. I've seen all of your comments, I've taken all of that into account, I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good idea of where I want to go in this transfer window. And as far as players I'm looking to get rid of, because I haven't really addressed that yet, I have a couple of players in mind. The first one is Ribeiro. He's on an expiring contract, so either way he won't be back next season. If we could sell him in this transfer window, that would be great. If he signs a pre-contract to go somewhere else, that's fine too. I'm not really too worried about it, but either way, he is not going to be around next season, so that opens up a little bit of roster space for us as well. And the other players are all of these players down here, these last 6 players on the roster. Bowden, because he doesn't play and he's getting a little bit unhappy about that. I have Alston as my backup left back and Breck Shea's the starter, so I don't really need Bowden as well. And then these players down here that don't have faces and that are under 60 overall rated, they don't play and they don't have a spot on this team. To get rid of them would open up even more roster space. Remember, I want to try to limit the roster size to 35 players for this season and try to whittle it down eventually to 30 players. Right now we're at 32, so we do have a little bit of room, but if we could get rid of these players, that would really help out a lot. But I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to sell these players because they're all pretty low rated. I'm not sure if anyone's going to want them or not, but I'll do my best. But we have a couple of games to actually get through before we hit the transfer window, so let's get into those. They're both simulations, so it shouldn't take too long. All right, so first up is Colorado. We're at home for this one. As you can see, Colorado's form is not the best over their last 3 games. They haven't won a game. They've lost 1 and drawn 2, and they're in 9th place in the Western Conference. So, should be a win for us. We lost. How do we keep losing to these bad teams? Gashi gets their goal. At least we didn't get an injury. I mean, at least we can say that, but how? We're in really bad form right now. We need to turn this thing around. Remember, we lost 2 games last episode, and now we lose to Colorado at home? What's going on with this team? And the next game is on the road against RSL, and I've rotated the lineup a little bit. This would be what I would say is our highest rated lineup. It's Laren, Kaká, Shea at left mid, Molino, Nocerino, and Saren in the CDM spots, Alston, Colin, Hines. Turner's in there, though he's not really a high-rated player. And then Ben Dink. Turner just wanted a game, so I'm going to give it to him. So hopefully this turns our fortunes around a little bit. I really would like to get at least a point here on the road against RSL, who is in 7th place in the West coming in. We get the win. There we go. Saren gets a goal. Kaká gets a goal. And we get ourselves 3 points. Maybe we just needed to turn it around a little bit. Maybe getting those higher-rated players in there helped a little bit. Nocerino seems to play well in simulation, so I definitely need to get him in there, especially when I'm simulating games. So now we are in the transfer window, and right off the bat, very first day, we have 2 offers in for Kyle Laren. The first one is from Empoli for $3 million. The second one is from MLS rival Sporting Kansas City for 2.5. And I told you guys, Kyle Laren is going nowhere. He's going to be the focal point of this team at striker. I have no interest in selling him, especially to another MLS team in Sporting Kansas City. And my inquiry for Ben Swanson has come back as well. Columbus only wants $750,000 for the youngster, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. He is only 61 rated right now, but he definitely has a lot of potential. I'm going to offer him $600,000 and then one of those players that I'm trying to get rid of just to see if I can get rid of him. So hopefully they'll take that deal. $600,000 for Ben Swanson would be a steal. Alright, so we've hit a little bit of a snag here. My number 1 target for this transfer window is Christian Pulisic, and Dortmund want $2.1 million for him, which is more than I can afford to spend. I'm still going to try to get him. I'm going to offer him 1.4, which was closer to what his value was before I inquired about him. And I'm also going to add in Ribeiro, who's on an expiring contract, to see if we can get something out of him rather than just letting him leave at the end of the season or on a pre-contract of his own. So hopefully they take this deal. I really, really want this kid in my team. If they don't take it, we'll have to try to work something else out because I still definitely want this dude on this team. Alright, so the first deal is done. It is going to be for Ben Swanson, $600,000, and Barry, one of the players that we didn't need. And he only wants $3K a week in wages as well. He's cheap to bring in. He's cheap to pay for a great future midfielder. Probably not going to play a lot right now, but definitely will be involved in the team in some capacity. That's a heck of a deal. I'm really excited to get Ben Swanson in this team. And now, finally, after almost the entire first month of the transfer window for negotiations, I finally landed my man. Christian Pulisic is coming into Orlando. It literally took almost the entire first month of the transfer window to get him. He wanted more money. He wanted a bigger squad role. I mean, he's only a future first-team player at Dortmund. I had to bump him up to important first-team player. I had to bump him up that much just to get him to accept this offer. But finally, we've got him. Let's get him in the team and see where we stand after that, for crying out loud. So we're about halfway through this transfer window right now, about a month into it. And here's where we stand with our roster. We got Pulisic in there, and we have Swanson. Swanson might not play a lot right away, but we are starting training on him immediately, so his overall should jump up to the point where he can at least contribute at some point this season. Pulisic will split time with Rivas out there in the left mid spot. They'll both get equal playing time the rest of the season. Unless one is playing better than the other, then they will continue to play. But we'll see how that competition goes out there in the left mid spot. And I've sold a couple of those players we talked about down here as well. I sold 2 of them. I included another one in the Swanson deal, so we got rid of 3 of them, which is great. As far as the center back spot goes, I had my eye on either Daniel Agger or Omar Gonzalez, and it's looking like neither one of those 2 is going to work out. Agger wanted $90K a week in wages, and that's not going to happen. We don't have that kind of money. And Omar Gonzalez, his price kept rising and rising and rising, and it's looking like his deal isn't going to get done either. So we'll just stick with what we got for center back options. I don't just want to spend money on a new center back just to get a new center back in if it's not one that I really, really want. So we'll just wait until the offseason, revisit the center back spot. Honestly, I'm happy with Colin and Hines. They've done a great job in there, and we have Mateos as well if we need him. So I'm not going to spend money on center backs if I don't need to, and right now I just don't think it's necessary. From here on out, we'll see what offers come in, and we'll act and react accordingly to see what money comes into the team. But for now, I'm really happy with where we're at. All right, so we do have a couple of offers in now. The first one is for Dino Ndlovu, the free agent we picked up at the beginning of the season. Seattle's offering $950,000 for this dude. He's worth between 1.1 and 1.3, it's saying. So if I can get maybe, let's just do the 1.1 just because I'm going to give Seattle a hometown discount. If we can get 1.1 for him, I actually have an idea of a player that I think we could get if we can bring that money in. So we'll see what happens from there if we can sell Ndlovu. Also, we have an offer in for Kevin Alston from the New York Red Bulls. They're kind of lowballing us a little bit, offering $450,000. He's worth about $525, so if we can get right around that for him, I'll be happy. We'll keep Luke Bowden, it turns out, if we sell Alston. That's fine. So now we finally have a game to play, and we're at home against Columbus. We actually had this same situation last episode, and we absolutely slapped Columbus around down in Orlando. So I'm actually going to simulate this game. Columbus is actually up to second place, though, in the Eastern Conference. So it'll be interesting to see what we do in this game. A 0-0 draw. Actually, almost nothing happened in that game. So now, yes, I do finally get to play a game myself, and it's going to be a US Open Cup match against the Seattle Sounders. The first time I have ever played against the Sounders. I've always played with them. I've never played against them. This should be interesting. And we have to fully rotate this lineup. It's going to be Roquez and the man the Sounders are trying to buy right now from me, Ndlovu, with Pulisic and Swanson getting their debuts in the midfield alongside Higuita and Molino. Alston, Colin, Mateos, and Turner across the back with Stadihar in goal. Our objectives are to win this tournament, or I think make the quarterfinals at least, so we have to at least win this game. So let's do this thing. I've never played the Sounders before. This is going to be awkward. All right, here we go. Kickoff against Seattle, and they've got an interesting lineup. They're rocking the 4-3-3. The 4-3-3? Yeah, the 4-3-3 with Dempsey and Ivanschitz and Brad Evans at right wing. Brad Evans at right wing, I never thought I'd see that. In real life, he plays center back for the Sounders right now. So, a right wing Brad Evans should be interesting. And can we please get the ball off of Mather? He's offsides. He's offsides. We're good. We're good. I got to talking. I wasn't paying attention. I almost screwed it up really early. Here we go. Right there. Pulisic with the shot. Blocked by Marshall. Pulisic goes down in the box. Ref! Yo, that is what's like playing Seattle. They're a dirty team, man. They fouled me so many times already. And they just took Pulisic down in the box. It should have been a pen. No, we're going to pull it back out. Let's just keep this possession going right now. This is good possession from us. Good back heel. Pulisic, you got to take the shot. How did he not pull the trigger from right there? Lino, can you find it? There you go. Ndlovu through to Pulisic. Pulisic back in there to Ndlovu, who unleashes the shot low. Fry makes the save. And it's going to go off of Pulisic for a throw. That's going to be the end of the first half. We both had some good looks. It's been a pretty even match, but Seattle's playing a little bit dirty. You know, they're playing out the dirty tactics. A lot of cheap fouls. Some of them that aren't being called. We're still battling, though. We're definitely in this game. We're definitely holding our own. Swanson does a fabulous job here. Swanson, play it forward. Here we go. Roquez, hold it up. Play it in. There's the shot. Off the post. Come on, boys. We got to get something from this. Pulisic stole the ball, but he can't get the shot off. Why does he not shoot? All right, we got 5 minutes left, and we're going to make the change. We're going to go for it here. Kaká, Nocerino, and Larin all coming on. We'll see if we can't get this goal in the last 5 minutes. If not, we'll head to extra time. There's the final whistle. We don't get that opportunity. We're going to go to extra time against Seattle. The good news is, I think we've got the fresher players here, and Seattle is on all-out attack. So we should have some opportunities in this final 30 minutes. We cannot get the ball off of them. This is so ridiculous. And now they're through. It's Dempsey. Huge save from our young goalkeeper, Stadiahar. What a save. Can we find Kaká? There it is. Whoa, that's not where I wanted it to go, but we got Larin. Larin, he makes the slide tackle and misses. Larin, does he have the pace? He definitely does. He has the stamina. Through against Fry. Kyle Larin puts it home. It's 1-0 over Seattle. I knew eventually Seattle pushing all of their numbers forward would eventually hurt them, and it did. I don't know if Kyle Larin was faster than that dude, but he had the fresher legs. He hadn't played up until like 5 minutes ago, so I knew he was Ozzy Alonso. He's definitely not faster than Ozzy, so it had to have been he had the fresher legs, and we burned him, and I think we're going to move forward in the U.S. Open Cup. We just got to hold on now. There we go. Get that ball out. Here we go. We're on the counter once more. Play it in the middle. There's Kyle Larin through. One more time on goal. Kyle Larin bangs it home again. Kyle Larin just flat out does not miss. He is a sick striker, and he's up to 72 overall rated. I love Kyle Larin. There is the final whistle. I don't think Seattle got a single shot in extra time. I mean, they pushed numbers forward and couldn't do anything with that, and we absolutely burned them twice on a counterattack. I mean, in the end, it was a great game plan for me. I rested most of my starters. Seattle started theirs, and then they got tired, had to bring in reserves. I brought in my starters, and we killed them. I mean, it was a great game plan. It worked well. Our new players played well. Pulisic and Swanson were very, very good in that game. And we get the win, and we're moving on in the U.S. Open Cup. So while I try to figure out all of these deals that are going on right now, we're going to play our last game of this episode. It's going to be against Philadelphia. They're in 3rd place, and this is on short rest. This is 3 days after we just played Seattle. So most of the first choice starting 11, luckily, is fit for this thing, but Rivas is in there in the left mid spot. Vinter is in there in the right in place of Molino. The rest of the team is pretty much the first choice starting 11, though. So this is a tough match against 3rd place Philadelphia. Let's get in here and see if we can get another 3 points. All right, here we go. Kickoff against Philadelphia, and we already have 2 losses at home this season, which I am not happy with. One of those was last episode to Dallas, which I lost myself, so I got to step up my performances here at home. We barely got by Seattle last game, so I want to have a good performance here in this one. There we go. Big mistake from them. Breck-Shea, play that in. Here we go. It's Nocerino. No, you got to have a long shot this time. Nocerino! That was a much better shot from him. And it's going to go out for a goal kick because Kyle Larin touched the ball. That's like the 3rd time we've done that, where the ball's going out, we just tap it out to make sure it goes out. Why do we do that? Why don't you guys just leave the ball alone? There's the end of the first half. Not a whole lot happened. We had so many attacks, and every chance got cut out or blocked. It's just so frustrating. We're definitely the better team in this one. We should win this game. It's just a matter of whether or not we can actually get a clean look at the goal. All right, second half. Come on, guys. We got to get something going. We're killing Philly right now. We just cannot, for the life of me, get a look at the... That's a great ball. That's a great ball. Rivas, that's a good shot. We'll take that. That was not a good shot. I didn't mean to shoot that follow-up shot, but that's okay. At least we have a shot on target. That might be our first one of the game that I can remember. Nocerino. There you go, Nocerino. Ref, every time I have a chance going forward, they bring me down. How many of their players have yellow cards right now? It's another one. All right, Kaká, you know what? We're going for this thing. Why not? Kaká, let's see if we can get the power right. He actually got that perfect. Kaká with the free kick. Kaká with the free kick of dreams. It's 1-0 over Philadelphia. Absolutely deserved. They kept fouling and kept fouling. Finally, we got one in a position where we can make them pay. And Kaká just hit a sick knuckleball free kick. That was one of the best free kicks I've ever hit, and he tucked it just inside the post. We finally have the lead. Oh, Colin, wide open header. But that went in? Shea just scored the stupidest goal I've ever seen in my life. How? What just happened? I wasn't even prepared for that. I don't know what just happened. Colin got an open header off a corner, and then that touch from Breck Shea was AIDS, and somehow that just went in. Either that was a brilliant touch, or it was just the dumbest touch ever. Either way, it's 2-0 over Philadelphia late in this one. This one's done. Huge block from Breck Shea. And there goes Ndlovu straight up the middle of the pitch. Hold it up. Play it across. Here comes Darwin Sarin. Sarin scores. He puts this thing away. No doubt about it. 3-0 over Philadelphia. And now we're just starting to absolutely dominate this game. I mean, let's just blow the whistle. Let's end this thing before someone gets hurt. They've had a lot of slide tackles that have made me nervous. I just want this thing to end. We've got the 3 points. Let's just end it. There is the final whistle. A 3-0 victory over Philadelphia. I'm still baffled how they didn't get a red card. I swear they had at least 6 or 7 yellows. That's insane. But I'm happy with the 3 points. An injury-free game. We'll take that all day long. Alright, so unfortunately, I was unable to do any more deals in this episode. I will let you know that the deal for Ndlovu with Seattle did fall through. They couldn't agree on wages, so that deal's not going to happen. That's unfortunate because if that deal had worked, I would have had enough money to then buy Cristo Gonzalez, which is a player a lot of you wanted to see me buy. But now we're not going to have enough money to do that. So it's not looking like we're going to get Cristo Gonzalez. So that's a little unfortunate. So one thing that did happen though was I kind of made a mistake. I sold both of our backup left backs on accident. I just wasn't paying attention. So I sold Alston and Luke Bowden. So I'm going to need another left back. So if you have any suggestions, make sure you let me know in the comments. I'm still trying to work with Chicago to buy Brandon Vincent. If that deal goes through, I would love to have Vincent on this team. He's got a lot of potential and is a player I would really like to try out. So if I can get Vincent, that's great. If not, I'm going to need some more suggestions because I'm down to just Breck Shea, which is a little unfortunate, but that is going to do it for this one. If you had as much fun as I did, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you when we come back with some more Orlando City career. See ya.